Investing in Detroit. In this episode, I'm going to go through with you guys how I personally set up the perfect dream team in Detroit to minimize my risk and maximize my output when doing so. So you'll want to pay attention to this episode. Stay tuned. We're going to get into it right after this. First of all, what you want to do is you want to start a network out in Detroit. You could join Facebook groups, but back when I started investing in Detroit, I wasn't even sure about Facebook groups or anything else. Not that there wasn't Facebook, I just didn't know. So what I personally did, and what I'm saying is you could join these Facebook groups, start to network there, but I took and ran a Craigslist ad looking for contractors. And what I did is specifically listed looking for contractors in Detroit for the specific, and I listed all the things that I needed from that contractor. I needed them to have their own vehicle. I needed for them to be licensed. I needed them to have references, and I needed for them to follow the directions. So in the ad, what I would say is, these are the things I need. Reply to this email, and if they would just send me a text going, hey, what do I need, or something like that, okay, look, you can't even follow the basic directions of the ad. What makes you think you're going to be able to follow the directions that I need, and I'm not there to tell you? So oftentimes you could tell if someone's going to be a good fit right from the beginning. If they're not even paying attention to what you've listed in your ad, why would you want to work with them? So anyways, that being said, this is the first criteria. I ran an ad, and the reason why I run an ad is this. I attract the people that are looking versus me calling an ad. I'm chasing someone that keeps posting ads and probably has plenty of business. I want the person that's hungry, that's looking for work. I set up interviews for them, and I interview them on the phone. I have them send me all of their work. I'll do a quick background as far as references. I want to see the work that they've done and things like that. Then what I'll do is I'll schedule an in-town meeting, and what I did is I set up something at the hotel I was staying at, and I would have the contractors come, and I would meet with them one by one and kind of feel them out as far as like how they're doing. More like, how did I vibe with them? Were they a good fit? Or they a bad fit? Was this person angry? You know instinctively and intuitively if you're going to be able to get along with someone, or if there's some red flags, if they're late to the meeting and so on, right? I look at like, are they wearing dress shoes? Did they show up in a car? I want the guy that's showing up in a pickup truck, has work boots, his hands are a little crusty from just work, right? So these are the things that I personally look for. This is just one aspect. I'm also looking for, and I want to interview realtors out there. So I'm talking to realtors before I come out. These are people that I want to get with. I want to, and what I did is I met with realtors when I went out. It was quick for me. I instantly knew who I was going to work with as far as a realtor. The guy he blew everybody else away. It was a phenomenal realtor. We're actually, 10 years later, more than 10 years later, 12, 13 years later, we're still really good friends to this day. I talked to him this morning. So for those 2 days, I have one day set aside just meeting with contractors. The other, I'm just meeting with realtors. And I'm probably just going to meet with realtors first, contractors second. And the contractors that I'm meeting with, I'm going to have them bid jobs. By then, agents should have sent me deals prior to me even landing that we're going to go look at. I'm going to have those contractors meet me later after I've selected just a few, and I'm going to have them give me bids. I'm going to see what those bids include, exclude, and I'm probably going to go check on a couple job sites now at this point with the finalists that I'm picking as far as contractors. Another thing that you want to look at when in Detroit, this is just for me, when screening tenants, you may want to look at any Section 8 housing. That goes for any city that you're in. There just so happens to be, it just so happened to be when I was investing heavily in Detroit, Section 8 was a big portion of the rents that came in. You also want to look at is it a portion? Is it all of it that they're covering? It's guaranteed money. You think about things like COVID. some people like myself in the properties that weren't necessarily guaranteed income, you have Section 8 money coming in where there's no disruption to your cash flow. So something to think about. Also, when you look at investing in Detroit, some of the things that you want to take into consideration are their taxes. Taxes are better than they used to be, but they're still pretty high. So in comparisons to what your acquisition price is, look at what the taxes are in your area. Make sure that you're investing correctly. You may even want to look at duplexes if those are an option. I had a 10-door apartment complex. It was the same, literally the same taxes as a single family house. So something to think about when looking at it. Look at multiple dwellings out there, multifamily. One thing that could get a little expensive in Detroit is fire insurance. So there's some co-op fire insurance, some self-insured stuff out there. So you want to look at like who is the best insurance company for you. I can't think of who it is off the top of my head that I work with, but in the Facebook groups, everybody shares some really good information of who you could network with as far as getting insurance. Then you have maintenance, you have your property manager. So you hear a lot of people talk about being taken advantage of by property managers. Sometimes those are agents for out-of-town investors, right? So you want to make sure that you have that trust system, but also you may have to go through 2, 3, 4, 5, even 10 different contractors to get to the one good one. That may also go for agents. That may also go for property managers. The key is when you are creating something out of state, investing remotely, you want to take the time and continuously dial in that process. For me, it was key to make sure that we had the right team. And it took us over a year to develop the right team. It's part of the commitment. But if I'm investing out of state, I'm not investing in one asset. I'm investing in multiple assets. I want to make it worth creating a team remotely, if that makes sense. Because you want to keep everybody busy. And if it's just a one-off, well, I guess it's just a one-off and, is what it is. But if you want to model that scalable, you want to continue to invest in, you'll want to make sure that you have that team. You want to develop it. After you've liked and subscribed, make sure that you click on the link below in the description and get our 100 free ways to find off-market deals. That's all yours complimentary. You actually don't have to like the video. You could probably hate the video if you want and still click on that link and get it. But I'm hoping that you actually like this. If you have any comments, do me a favor. Make those down below. I'll do my best to get to those to answer any of your guys' questions. Make sure you're doing your due diligence prior to going out to these cities. It's going to pay off. Craigslist ad costs you $5. Maybe you run a couple of those. Do your interviews. Make sure that the people follow the process and they follow directions. If they can't cut bait, it's just a sign of things to come. Also, make sure that it's not just on your contractor side, your agents as well, and property manager. You are creating the dream team here. You want the people that are going to go to work for you, go to bat. See if they could bring you deals. You also want to have different types of income coming in. You could look at Section 8 along with just normal housing rentals. For me, I just like Section 8. It's a good diversification, and I'm not chasing that money down. Also, if there's any other things that you guys are looking at or have questions on when investing in Detroit, do me a favor. You could DM me, send me a message, or comment below, and that way I could respond and everybody could see it. Anyways, hope you guys enjoyed this video. Looking forward to talking to you soon if you have questions.